Before I started full development of 3 Shots Left, I wrote a playable choose-your-own text adventure version in Yarnspinner. It's really nice to be able to test and debug the entire scope of the story and interaction model without interacting with any of the 3D engine. I also use Yarnspinner to drive what happens in the game itself, and I'd like to show you what that looks like. Yarnspinner is an engine that prints lines of text. It has variables like any other programming language. It also has choices which, on user input, control which the next lines of text are. In Godot, I have a script that listens to when variables change in Yarnspinner and correspondingly turns things on and off in the 3D world. The script can also accept user input in the 3D world and make choices in the Yarnspinner engine. This door is blocked due to this variable in Yarnspinner. I can interact with the blockage to trigger this choice, which changes the variable which affects the game world. I've linked my console to the Yarnspinner engine and can set variables directly, like how I can control the time of day. Sometimes I want to give more feeling to actions in the game. This door opening, which I'm currently working on, happens instantly and is a little jarring. I created a system to trigger game events by producing lines of text in Yarnspinner that the game interprets as commands. For another door, which is more final, I can shoot the lock which plays the sound of a door opening. Sometimes I use Yarnspinner to control more meta actions. Here I use Yarnspinner to tell Godot to switch to a different scene. Sometimes I abuse Yarnspinner. I map designed myself into a corner and required these ladders. I didn't want to make a ladder animation, so I used Yarnspinner to trigger a player teleport, transition screen, and audio clip. Don't forget that Yarnspinner is ideal for handling branching dialogue.
There he is. I'm trying to reach you for days.
It's really satisfying to have a central place where all this is controlled. The main flaw with this approach is that some things are difficult or impossible to represent in the script. Dynamic combat with ammo and health bars doesn't make sense to be represented in Yarnspinner, even if the rest of the story is. Sometimes the structure of the script doesn't fit well with the way the game is put together. I've split the script into different buildings to make it easier to organise, but it means when the player enters or leaves a building, a choice needs to be triggered. It's trivial to create an area, 3D, that when entered triggers a Yarnspinner choice, which is cool, but it's a bit annoying to have to remember to do that every time. I have some ideas for my own game story scripting language, but that's a project for another day. I've got to finish 3 Shots Left first. Wishlist on Steam.